Man, I kind of wanted to start this podcast off with some thoughts that I had yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, man. The truth is, I'm corny, man. I'm glad you let that breathe a little bit. I'm corny. So I've always been a weirdo. I'm a proud member of the weirdo crew. I stand for the weirdos. But I realized yesterday that I'm corny, and not in a good way. And there's a lot of things I had to address with myself. So let's start this off with a little story time.
Story time with Chin.
So Friday was my high school reunion.
You got to tell the people what school you went to, man.
No, I don't. Friday was my high school reunion.
It's a major high school in the city.
I don't gotta tell them nothing.
Okay.
So yeah, Friday was my high school reunion, and I went. I went to show face, and when I got there, it was about only 20, 25 of us there, and initially I felt bamboozled. However, I still was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay. And it was $100. My ticket was $100. The tickets were $75, but I paid last year to go last year because my high school reunion was supposed to happen last year, but pandemic, lockdown.
Okay.
People were still scared. Now that the vaccines are out, people are a little bit more willing to show up on.
Okay.
Anyways, so I show up, I felt bamboozled because I was like, damn, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more people. I got wasted, and it kind of ruined my whole Saturday. I was hurt. I'd never been this hurt ever in my life. I don't know if it was age, maybe it was the amount I was drinking. I don't know. I'd never been this hurt.
But you still had to walk the dog.
I did. But thank you for Boaz for waking me up, because I don't think I would have left my bed if it wasn't for you. But what I realized is that I think for the longest time I feared this, and I probably knew this about myself, but I'm corny to the point where I had to admit to myself that I really wanted to go to this high school reunion. And why did I want to go? It's the real question, right? I didn't really know these people like that. None of us really kept in touch. So what was the purpose of going to this high school reunion?
You tell me, man.
And in some way, I wanted to not flex, but kind of being like, yo, I made it. Like, I'm not a loser. And I was like, but why do you want to do that? And even with like certain things, like, so I always pride myself of not being on social media and not being. Should we wait till this?
No, you keep going.
Not being on social media, and not being what everybody wants to do, and just being like the guy that's doing his own thing. But there's a small part of me that's like, I wanted to be part of the cool crew. I wanted to be part of the popular kids, the people that want to be famous. Or there's a small part of me like that, and I was like, why is this? Is it? I don't know. But yesterday I had to address that, and there's certain things that I'm cutting off today. But no, it was an interesting insight. Something that I think I've been afraid to admit to myself for the longest, but it was there. And then also, I think when I asked you, did you go to your high school reunion? And you was like, no. Why would I go? Like, I was like,
and I laughed at you.
I think it was one of those things like, wow, people really don't go to these things. Like, people, and so the reason why I asked you, I asked somebody else, and everybody said they didn't go. Only I didn't get the memo that this is not something that.
Yeah.
But the reason why I asked, I was like, why do I had? Because even though my mother suggested, I could have said no.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go, and even that I was blaming my mother for me going. But I had to sit down like, you low-key wanted to go. Because your mother tells you to do a bunch of other things. You have no problem saying, nah, I'm not doing that.
Rebellious son.
Yeah. Shout out to all my disobedient kids out there. Keep disobeying your parents. I think that is the crust of the conversation, that Chinedum is actually corny. And one last thing. I realized, okay, if you're willing to go to a high school reunion where you don't really know these people like that to, I guess, prove yourself, what else are you willing to do? And it was also like, why are you willing to be corny for these type of situations? But are you corny enough to like praise God in a Zoom meeting with your boss?
I think that breaks religious guidelines for the company.
But it's like you're too cool to do certain things, but you're corny enough to do these weird things. Corny enough to do things that are not even like, I don't do parties, I don't do clubs.
Yeah.
I don't really go out and drink and get drunk. Like, that's not my thing. But you did that. And at the end of the day, you are what you do. So it's like, why are you willing to do these certain things, but things that you actually want to do, or things that, you say that you are, whether it's a Christian, whether it's a teacher, whether it's whatever, you're not really doing those things on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, but you're doing these weirdo things. Why? So it was just an interesting sit down with myself that I had yesterday while recovering in my bed.
You fully recovered today?
No, my neck hurts.